Okay. Pull away.
But then my question is about, I don't know if you clarify it already or not. I didn't quite get it. So the about it rock, not a rock. I'm sorry. The burning. No, the first simile. So,
Yeah.
but the it's already burning, right? So the burning should be the contact already.
I think we could say that the burning is the contact.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So actually it's the analysis of the contact itself already.
Yeah, though the sutta doesn't mention contact.
But the burning is the contact.
I think we could say that.
Okay.
But the sutta doesn't itself say that. But what is contact but the coming together of object, the sense faculty, object, consciousness. So here we have the coming together of the wick, the oil, and the flame. So you say the burning is the contact.
Okay.
But the sutta doesn't say that. It's just the way we would continue the simile, to unfold the implications of the simile.
And the second question is about the term for delight and lust.
Yeah.
Can we render it as delight through lust? Otherwise, what's left for an arahat? Do we call an arahat happiness, delight too? So it's just a rendering of the compound in Pali, right?
Yeah.
So can we...
I think it's treated as a dvanda, a dual compound. But the arhat will have delight, but it's not the kind of delight that's bound up with lust. But it's mental joy.
But then why can we render that as the other kind of compound?
As tapurisa compound? I think the reason, because there are some suttas which break it up and say that there should not be delight, should not be lust, which break up that compound. So you have the same statement made about nandi and about raga. So in that way we know that it's two things that are joined together as in a pair.
So delight through lust is not acceptable.
It's not acceptable as a translation, but that's the intention, the meaning. But grammatically it's nandi and raga, not nandi that comes through raga.
It's arbitrary, right? When translating a compound in Pali, it's arbitrary. Because
what?
It's very arbitrary. Because how can you decide it's a tapurisa compound or a dvanda compound?
It's not always arbitrary. There are ways that one could understand how it's functioning.
Okay. Thank you.
Correct?
Bhante, you said if seeing oneself is the wisdom aspect of the three universal characteristics,
That what?
You said the seeing oneself as non-self, is the
Yeah,
wisdom aspect of
yeah.
the. So what is dukkha and anicca? Is that like the vipassana aspect, the samatha aspect of the three characteristics?
No, they're all part of vipassana or insight. It's just that we have that there are three characteristics. And of the three, I would say the one that's the real target of the Buddha's exposition is the non-self aspect. But non-self is said to be very difficult to perceive on its own. And so the way to approach non-self, out of the three, the characteristic that's most immediately apparent is impermanence. Of course, there's no sort of philosophical understanding needed, but just whatever one observes, if one observes it closely and consistently, one sees that it arises and passes away. So impermanent becomes clear. Okay, and then from impermanence, one sees that whatever is changing, and especially what is subject to pass away, is not going to provide stable, lasting happiness, so it's dukkha. And then on the basis of those two characteristics, then the Buddha comes to anatta, that one doesn't want to hold. Actually, this will become clearer from the next sutta that we're going to take, how we go from anatta to non-self.
Okay.
So come back next week and get the
Okay.
clarification.
Continuing with the three characteristics. The focus of Venerable Nandaka's teaching was from it's I permanent or impermanent, and then starting with that goes down to non-self.
Yeah.
Seems to me that is when you actually know and see that, that's like a stream entry kind of thing, rather like their intention to, I don't know, it just came to my mind, their intention was getting stream entry rather than final goal. It just came to my mind. And the full moon could be when you have your intention, their intention is becoming a stream entry.
Yeah.
That could be their full moon. When you're not reached there, it's like a 14th day, not the 15th day. I think we can also interpret it that way.
Yeah.
What do you say there?
That's actually somewhat the way the commentary explains it. What the commentary says is that for some the intention, I think the Pali word was used was sankappa, like the wish, the aspiration. For some we're hoping to reach stream entry, some once returning, some non-returning, some arahatship. And so after the first discourse, they didn't fulfill that intention. But then after the second discourse, then they fulfilled their own individual intentions or aspirations. So those who wanted stream entry got stream entry, those who were aiming for once return got once return, those who aimed to become non-returners got that, and those who were aiming for arahatship got that.
Stream entry.
Well, that's the sutta itself says that the least amongst them was a stream enterer.
And one other thing is the question, the teaching the Venerable Nandaka gave 3 times exactly same teaching, right?
2 times, yeah.
Oh, was
It just says 2 times.
2 times, exactly same and nothing added to.
That's the way the text says it. But, we don't have like a tape recording from the period, so for all I know, he could have added some things, maybe presented a little, give a little difference in presentation.
Yeah, it was question is regarding the second, seven enlightenment factors.
Second what?
I'm trying to get
the enlightenment factors, yeah.
States, when it comes to the states, you said that is wisdom. But what puzzles me is that if there is wisdom before rapture, then the Buddha spoke about the jhanas being on the third jhana, there's rapture.
Yeah.
The fourth jhana, there's none. And as you go into wisdom, into vipassana, then you will let go of rapture since you have wisdom.
Yeah.
No longer needed, right? But in the seven enlightenment factors, you have the second as wisdom. I mean, when I saw the second one, I saw it as investigating. I mean, as you practicing. You investigate, but not as wisdom. I didn't see it as that.
That's why I say that even though the commentaries and the Abhidhamma identify the second factor of enlightenment with wisdom, but I would be hesitant to say that this is
I would think so, yeah.
Panya in the full sense of the word.
Right.
But it's more of, I would say it's the very elementary manifestation of wisdom. And the way I understand it, okay, we have a sequence of enlightenment factors here. The first is sati, or mindfulness.
Sati. Yeah, mindfulness, yeah.
Okay, now this is the way I would understand it, that, okay, when one is trying to attend to an object with mindfulness, say the breath or sensations, whatever, then one starts to become aware of the states of mind as well. Okay, and so I would say it's the function of this enlightenment factor of investigation or discrimination to distinguish what are the unwholesome mental states that have arisen, what are the wholesome states. And so then one is able to distinguish, between the wholesome and unwholesome mental states that have arisen. What are the factors that are the hindrances or the obstacles? What are the factors that are beneficial or helpful to the progress?
Yeah, but take, for example, you're practicing, a metta. In metta, there's investigative states, but you're still not practicing vipassana. It's not there yet. You're actually just doing a samadhi. You're still doing concentration, not the other way around. So I don't see that in there as wisdom. It may be some form of wisdom, but not in the sense of vipassana. Is that right?
Yeah, it's not yet in the form, the way I understand it, it's not yet in the form of vipassana, but it's the ability to distinguish one's mental states and to know which are harmful and obstructive, which are beneficial. Right. And then it's followed by energy, and energy, the function of energy, is to eliminate the unwholesome states and to strengthen the wholesome states. And so this is why energy comes after investigation. But as I said, investigation doesn't just drop out of the picture, but it continues as the other enlightenment factors come to manifestation, and then the function of investigation turns to examining the nature of the actual nature of phenomena. Then it becomes what we call panya or prajna, investigative wisdom.
Thanks for clarifying. Thanks, Bhante. Anybody else? These are smart students. They know a lot.
Somebody was saying to me the other day that stream enter, you don't actually have to be enlightened to be a stream enter, as long as you have unshakable faith, understand that there's no permanent self and don't cling to rites and rituals, then you're and not cling to rites and rituals, then you're a stream enterer without being enlightened.
You know, the word enlightened, I'm always a bit hesitant about this word because it can mean different things in different contexts. So it depends on what is meant by enlightened. But let us say that to become a stream enterer, what's necessary, sort of like the defining mark, is that one has seen the truth, the ultimate truth of the Dhamma. So they speak about the attainment of stream entry. It's marked by an event called the arising of the eye of Dhamma. Eye in this sense, the visual eye. So it's the eye that sees into the truth of the teaching, particularly that sees directly into the Four Noble Truths.
Oh, okay.
And so it's not, if you use enlightenment as equivalent to the achievement of arhatship, of course, then it's not the same thing. But one sees and understands the core or the essence of the Dhamma, and with that, one cuts off the three, what are called the three lowest fetters. You know, the view of self, doubt, and clinging to rituals and observances, and one gains that unshakable faith in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. But there's a kind of knowledge or insight or realization that is a necessary condition for the achievement of stream entry. Did you? You could ask.
He said he'll break your heart if you ask him.
It'll break.
We told him that
It's Sutra 145. Sutra 145. I don't know how to pronounce the Venerable's name. It's not even afraid of death, and then it go to teach the Dharma.
He's not even what?
He's not afraid of anything, not even being killed.
Yeah.
And this sutra is not just a concubine from former life. It's more scary than his own life.
Wait. Maybe because this microphone is causing a crackling sound.
It's my
No, I'm sure it's not your English. It's the mixture of the crackling sound with your natural voice.
It's the commentary try to arrange two sutras side by side. The Sutra 145,
Yeah.
the Arahant is not even afraid of being killed while spreading the Dharma.
Yeah.
And this sutra, the Venerable is hesitant to teach the Dharma to concubine of former life. So sit a little bit further away.
So the question is,
Why is not willing to teach the bhikkhuni just because they're concubine of the former life?
I see. First, that is as I said, that's the explanation given in the commentary. The sutta doesn't say anything about the reason. What comes down in the commentary, often I have to say very frankly, I don't believe myself. If this is getting recorded. That, I don't think that has anything to do with it. Because this explanation first, about the reason for his hesitation to teach, it comes from the commentary, not in the sutta itself. And what brings these suttas together is that they're all involved with the 6 sense bases. So that is sort of the unifying thread. And maybe, I don't know, I didn't check the arrangement in the Chinese version of the Majjhima Agama, but they might actually in the Chinese Agamas. Yeah, it comes in the Sangyuk. You see, it comes a different arrangement altogether. It comes in the Sangyuktagama, not even in the counterpart of the Majjhima Nikaya. So I wouldn't try to read any kind of message into the fact that the 2 suttas come one after another, except that they're concerned with the 6 sense bases.
I was a librarian, so I organized information when they're close together.
Okay, anything further? Okay, then maybe we will end for the day, and let's say we have the class next week. That's April 9th, same time, 9 a.m. Again, a reminder, if there's still some of the postcards about the concert left. So even if you're not able to go yourself, but if you know people who might be interested or can spread them around to people, if you go to another temple or monastery or have a group, especially people in or near New York City itself, because the concert will be in Lower Manhattan this year. It's called the Middle Collegiate Church. It's 2nd Avenue. I think it's probably near 11th Street, 12th Street. And then if we're going to have a cleanup at Taishu Hall, this will be after a 3-month break. And that we could use some extra help, especially people who are strong and willing to do some mopping. So please, if you want to volunteer, Edwin has already volunteered his service. Usually we have Bowe, Johnny, Sandy, anybody else who's free. Okay, good, because Chris could help with especially the mopping downstairs. And Kairi said that there's a table downstairs in this building to be moved into the children's room. Kairi, you could point out where the table is. Yeah. Okay, then you bring your own.